Why are we giving it to this guy now?
So are your objections primarily on that leadership experience and the fact that he's never led an organization as large as the Defense Department?
Exactly. He really is not qualified to do the job. He's never commanded a unit in combat. Again, he was a platoon leader, but nothing like a company or larger. He's never done the complex logistics at the brigade or division level. He has not negotiated at that level, an international level with large, our defense partners. We would not put somebody who had such few qualifications in charge of the DOD were it not that this was somebody that Donald Trump thinks looks good on TV. That's not who we need to run the DOD. Not someone who looks good on TV. We need someone who knows what they're doing, and Pete Hegseth does not know it.
Incoming, Senator Tammy Duckworth, a military veteran and hero, is not taking Pete Hegseth as Pentagon pick for an answer. And as you heard right there, she says the only reason Pretty Boy Hegseth has been picked is because he looks good on television. He has no other qualifications to be the head of the Pentagon. And somebody like Lieutenant Colonel Senator Tammy Duckworth of Illinois knows one when she sees it. And I love this interview. I'm going to play another clip from it in a minute. I love this interview that she just gave about the unqualified Pete Hegseth. And it's going to have to be what I said earlier. The Democrats, like Tammy Duckworth, are going to have to lead the charge in the confirmation process to expose through cross-examination only the way that only she can of Pete Hegseth to show the American people how unqualified he is. And no one can do it better than Tammy Duckworth. As I said, she lost both legs and an arm in a helicopter crash, and she's going to ask Pete Hegseth pointed questions about his position that women have no role in the military. Women have no role in combat positions. Women have no role in Navy SEALs or in the Green Berets or any of the elite combat units. And his thinking on that, which all stems from his Christian nationalist beliefs that believe that only men should be in leadership positions. She's also going to go after him about why gays and the LGBTQ plus community needs to leave the military, which is also his position. And she's going to pull rank on barely major Hegseth, reminding him that at one point he ran at best a battalion of 40 people, and now he's being asked to run several million service people in the military and a several billion-dollar budget, when the only time he's ever run anything at all to veterans organizations, he was apparently thrown out and run out on a rail because of financial mismanagement, public intoxication, and inappropriate conduct and behavior towards women. Who better to bring those charges against Hegseth and expose him for what he is on national television, whether it's MeidasTouch or C-SPAN, than Tammy Duckworth? And I applaud her interview there. He's already facing charges of rape and alcohol problems. And they may have been able to co-opt Lieutenant Colonel Joni Ernst, another senator, and get her on board because MAGA has been mercilessly pummeling her. I thought she was a combat veteran. Apparently she's wilting under the fire of mean tweets and social media posts because she wants a career in politics after this, apparently. And she wants to set herself up for a presidential run, I assume. And so she's willing to support unqualified people like Hegseth. So now all the nation's eyes turn to Tammy Duckworth. Let's play another clip from her interview now.
I want to start by asking you about Hegseth's comments about women in combat. As recently as November 7th, he said, quote, "I'm straight up saying we should not have women in combat roles." And yet on Monday, he told Sean Hannity that these comments have been, quote, misconstrued. What is your response to this, Senator?
Well, I think it speaks to his deep lack of qualifications to be Secretary of Defense. Whether you go with his comments in November, which was very much sweeping, saying that women don't belong in combat. Well, you know what? Our military could not do its job without the 225,000 women who are currently serving in uniform. We would not be combat ready, and we could not truly defend this nation and take the fight to the enemies of America if we did not have the female service members.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. There is nobody more qualified to do a live autopsy vivisection of Pete Hegseth and Tammy Duckworth. I wanted Tammy Duckworth to be Joe Biden's pick for vice president at one point, just to make that clear. I think she's going to rip out Hegseth's heart and show it to him, the beating heart in her hand during her cross-examination for as long. In fact, I think the Democrats should just get behind her and let her do all of it, because none of it, even the men, especially the men, the senators, don't have the military record of Tammy Duckworth, the heroism, the bravery, and she shouldn't let, and the nation shouldn't let anybody steal her valor, right? Talk about stolen valor. One of the single biggest predictors of how long you live and how good you feel while living is your metabolic health. Now, I strongly believe that you can't manage what you don't measure, and metabolic health can be difficult to measure. This is why I use levels to track my daily health metrics and habits and ultimately optimize my metabolic health. Levels helps me understand how my food and lifestyle decisions are impacting my health. In the short term, I use levels to optimize my energy levels during the day and manage weight. In the long term, I'm thinking about the many chronic diseases that are directly linked to metabolic health, including diabetes, heart disease, and Alzheimer's. I use levels with a continuous glucose monitor to get my own personalized data, which I've found to be really powerful to understand my own unique physiology. But you can also now use levels without a continuous glucose monitor. I never realized how much a simple pizza could really spike my glucose until I started using levels. Levels provides me with powerful, real-time, personalized information on how my body responds to different foods and activities. Having access to this data is a critical step to making better choices that will over time have a huge effect. Levels has recently launched some exciting new features to help you track your macros: protein, fiber, fat, carbohydrates, and sugar, and to create daily habits around your health goals. They also provide insights based on trends in your health metrics to help guide you to make decisions that will have a positive impact on your health. Metabolic health is about glucose and much more, and Levels now helps you keep track of it all. Now is a great time to get started if you've been waiting for the right time to join Levels to improve your metabolic health. Right now, Levels is offering my listeners an additional 2 free months of the Levels annual membership when you use my link levels.link/legalaf. I don't know how long this offer will last. So if you've been interested in learning more about your metabolic health, now is the time to get started. You've got J.D. Vance, who was a Marine, whatever, with a typewriter under his arm, writing articles. That's as close as he got to battle. And you got this guy who was in the National Guard running a battalion. All right, I'll give him that. I think he got injured at some point. But for the last 14 years, he's been a Fox and Friends weekend anchor. He's not even varsity. He's JV for Fox and Friends. And, wait, I forgot the other major qualification he has to take on the Pentagon. He watches the ball drop on New Year's Eve for Fox's New Year's Eve event. I mean, I'll be fair. Anderson Cooper, who does it for CNN, isn't qualified to run the Pentagon either. So, I'm fair about it. And between believe me, the Senate staffers that are working for Tammy Duckworth and the rest on the Senate Armed Services Committee, they're going to have to do the initial confirmation hearing, lead the confirmation hearing. And the ones that have been to war, like Tammy Duckworth, their staffers are working overtime. He's got like 13 books, Hegseth. I think one just came out in which he took positions about, DEI and gays in the military are, corrupting its morals and, making us insecure as a result. You know what's making us insecure? A Fox and Friends news anchor who's unqualified, that I wouldn't let run a bath, let alone the Pentagon, being our chief warrior. Can you imagine him negotiating with generals and in other countries that run their departments of defense? Oh my God, We are no more secure. We are less secure with his arrival at the Pentagon than anybody. And it's not like Donald Trump beneath Hegseth is going to put qualified people under him to support him. You know, if he wanted him to be the empty head, empty suit, you know, talking head because he looks pretty, Pentagon guy, fine. But put other people underneath him that know what they're doing. He's not doing that. He's putting philanthropists, donors, Wall Street people in positions of the Defense Department. Secretary of Navy is a guy that gave $1.5 million to Donald Trump and hosted a fundraiser. Deputy Secretary of Defense under Hegseth, you think a general, a colonel, anybody? I take a private at this point. Nope, it's a guy from Wall Street. Another billionaire from Wall Street with no military background, apparently, nothing that applies, going to support him. Where are the Navy? I'd even take a defense contractor at this point. At least he knows about the military. And that's what you're hearing Tammy Duckworth say when she's pulling rank appropriately. You ran a group of 40 people. The only two organizations I know of that you ran, other than being in hair and makeup on Fox and Friends, is you ran two fake veterans organizations supported by Koch brother dollars, and you were run out on a rail for financial mismanagement. At least that's the reporting. Let her dissect him in real time to the American people, and then we'll do our job here on the MeidasTouch Network together with you in airing this, so that the American people see how profoundly unqualified these people are. Wait till I do a hot take on RFK Jr. being the head of our health department, our national health department. There's like 75 Nobel Prize-winning scientists and doctors and researchers who have all signed a letter against RFK Jr., but that's for another hot take. Keep our focus. Sharpen our elbows. The Democrats in the minority now are doing the right thing. They stand opposed to these most outrageous picks. All right. They may get through the sweetheart tour of the Capitol, where all the Republicans are like, oh, he's such a nice guy. You know, his views on women, his fact that his mother, Penelope Hegseth, said that he's a serial abuser of women in an email. Oh, that was taken out of context. Women have no role in combat. No, he just met Navy SEALs in Green Berets. He's a nice guy. You know, a rapist, accused rapist, serial abuser of women. Joni Ernst should be ashamed of herself. I don't know how she looks herself in the mirror, let alone her family or her constituents. She's the victim, self-professed, of rape and domestic violence. She's going to let Hegseth in at the head of the Pentagon? What were you promised, Joni? What are you going to get? A fast track towards the presidency? The loser here is probably J.D. Vance. All these people are lining up like to take the mantle from Trump. They're all like polishing up their buttons, ready to run. Keep an eye on Tammy Duckworth. I've said it from the beginning. She's going to lead this charge against Hegseth, and we're there for it. You're here for it here on the MeidasTouch Network. Take a minute, boom, hit the free subscribe button, and go over to our other channel, Legal AF, at the intersection of law and politics YouTube channel, at Legal AF MTN. That's Legal AF MTN. I'm Michael Popok. Until my next report. In collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.